So, ladies and gentlemen, on the 1st of September 2025, along the northwestern part of a place in Mali called the Markala region, ladies and gentlemen, security forces actually got credible intel that there was movement around the Markala district of Ngolobabougou province. Ladies and gentlemen, on getting this credible intel, just to confirm, the Malian Armed Forces actually sent surveillance drone just to be able to know the geolocation of these technical elements. Ladies and gentlemen, they confirmed that there were two groups. Now, the reason why there were two groups was because there was a group that was meant to distract any type of state security forces that were trying to deter their advance towards their objective. The second group was the main group that was going to be, performing maybe they want to build up some propaganda that, look, no way Mali is actually safe or something. So from credible information, after the Malians confirmed this information and they know the location of where the terrorist, which was the northwestern part of Markala, very, very close to the River Niger. And River Niger, even though Markala and Ngolobabougou, they are in the same province, River Niger actually divides the two territories. So in Ngolobabougou, they wouldn't have been able to do nothing. But Markala is actually, you have a lot of is highly populated right there in Markala sub-province of Ngolobabougou. So, and they are known for fishing. The River Niger just run around the whole place. So they are known for their fishing activities and all of that. So what happened was, the first thing the Malians did was to know, okay, how many of those elements do we have? The next thing was to look for every possible escape route through which the terror element could escape through. So having established this, they deployed an overwhelming number of troops against this enemy forces. So what it did was to cut out all escape routes. So it was a sort of encirclement of, the group that actually came. So after doing this, the group only had a few options. Either you surrender, either you escape, or either, you do something that looks like a heroic, fight to victory or to defeat. So, number one, surrender was not possible because it is part of their, value, or should I say war conduct in these groups, that, look, you cannot surrender once you have been sent out. You have to complete the mission or fall and embrace your 72 virgins. Either of the two, and you must not make any pronunciation that so number of casualty was recorded. That's what all of this group, that's the same thing that bounds all of them. So, the surrender was not possible because another thing, if you surrender successfully, you have to be under tight security control, because if not, they are going to try to exterminate them first. Yeah, they group, because the objective is, once you surrender, they believe you are going to compromise some of the secrets of the group. So you are already like target number one, high priority target for them. So according to the information we had, they couldn't escape because the escape route had equally been shut out. So two options are gone. So they need to prepare for close combat. So what they did was, they already noticed too that there were movement of troops around the location through the APCs that were coming in. The Malians actually came heavily prepared, and before you knew what was going on, the Malians were the first to initiate contact. And after they initiated contact, after a little bit of time, now the funny thing was, the Malians did not initiate contact with those that were supposed to, serve as decoys, like to distract the security forces. Now they actually saw security forces on the distance, but they went to the main targets, actually neutralized dozens of them, which according to report was every one of them that was actually in that location. Now they advanced after taking the element, putting them at the back of the van. They advanced towards the decoy group, and the decoy group was overwhelmed. Now two of the Enemy personnel was trying to escape towards the river Niger region, maybe to jump into the Nile River or something, but they were already waiting for them at that location too. So they got neutralized. It was a complete disaster. So the ambush didn't work. The planned attack failed. And now, equipments were recovered. Their machines were recovered through which they came to this region. And the casualty was just devastating. And this is a very big statement. It's the Malians sending a message very loud and clear to the enemy that, look, the Malian military presence covers its entire territory, no matter how big it is. And this is a message that, look, we are not only present in the highly contested region, we are present in every part of Mali, both in the contested region and in the non-contested region. And what does this mean? This is a loud and clear message to the enemy forces and their funders that, look, this fight is existential. It's a fight for survival. It's a fight for liberation and freedom if you think it is. And it's a message that whenever you come, we will be waiting. And we won't only be waiting, we will be more than prepared. So the next information we'll have is that for quite a while, we heard that the Imgao people, which are popularly known as the Azawadian people by some people, they actually have serious division among themselves right now, because the youths of Imgao, they are beginning to ask a lot of questions. Why are you isolating us? The government of Mali did not isolate us. They are not harming us. So why are you creating this false narrative, this non-existential narrative that, oh, these people are trying to marginalize us, there is a war for independence or something? But before you don't even have the capability to fight these people. What you mean? Like, we are part of Mali, and Mali it is alone. So for quite a while, we've been getting this information. Their mainstream sources have been trying to, weather it and deny the statement and all of that. So now we have a credible lead that it's now beginning to come out in the open. Check this out.
أريك من يقر أريك ماوي إنا نزكمك أريك ماوي أنا سيجا نعم أنا سيجا مساركوك ورتي لا صوار تبرل تصوار ندي دخلك ها صوار ندي أريك ماوي أنا سيجا فابريكا ولا بريك.
Right, that's an Imgao youth, right? Not one, there were 3 in that location, making a bold challenge to their elites around that region that, look, we ain't going to get compromised by your extremist ideology and all of that. That is why you see the rag that they claim to be a flag was being torn. So now it's a question of, are you going to start harming your people? It's just a simple question. There is only one place that is very, very known in the Sahel and is recognized internationally. And that is the Malian territory. We don't know about the Imgo. Now, to the last information of today, we are getting credible lead that in Darfur, Sudan, the military forces in Darfur have now defeated a very large chunk of mercenary today. And according to the information we had, they recovered drones. They recovered, in fact, so many drones, right? Kamikaze drone, FPV drone, fiber optic drone. And according to the information we had, they said a lot of mercenary forces were actually captured. So we try to probe, more to get the information. So according to credible information, there were so many Ukrainian mercenary forces in Darfur, in Sudan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is getting diabolical at this point, right? And also, they said a lot of Colombian mercenaries were equally found in Darfur. So, I mean, I can't really wrap my head around this whole thing. The fact that you're coming from where to fight where, does it even make any sense? Like, make it make sense. What are Ukrainians doing in Darfur? And according to the intel, they said those Ukrainians are drone specialists. So, man, this old drone thing has to just stop. This old drone hysteria that we are the greatest drone, this and that. Nah, it has to stop. The drone ain't gonna work, most especially in the Sahel. It ain't working. It hasn't worked so far. But that means that the people in the Sahel, most especially the enemy forces that have actually been using the drone, are actually trained by these guys. You know? So, and according to what we heard, they said the Colombians there, the job they do is to dig trenches for the enemy forces. And also, you know, they, according to what we heard, they said the Colombian machineries don't even, you know, they're not even good when it comes to their marksmanship, you know. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this news? I think it's liberation time, and you already know what time it is. At this point, I think an average African already knows what the message is. You know, making our job easier. We don't have to keep pushing too much. Everybody already get what the objective is, and the objective is one: liberation and sovereignty. So, ladies and gentlemen, the struggle continues. Aluta continua, Victoria Santa, homeland of death. You already know what it is. It's your boy 7200 signing out. Enough said. But before I go, thanks for watching. God bless. I really appreciate all of your support. I mean, you guys have really turned it up one more notch, and I really appreciate it. Salute. Much respect.